vigil in the streets of that ancient town where Christ was born.
The wind's picked up, and there's Mayor Gore.
This is a big moment for the mayor, not just because it's gone well, but obviously it's important to the city of New York. They've spent a lot of money. They've spent 5 years getting ready for it. He has big political plans for the next year in his widely publicized race against the war.
3, 2, 1. Happy New Year 2000.
Drops in the year 2000, it will be a momentous event for the world and for the U.S. economy, which is closing in on its longest expansion ever. The decade has been marked by strong growth, the lowest unemployment in a generation, and yet remarkably little inflation.
The internet evolved into a commercial phenomenon. Open markets and the deluge of real-time information have unleashed cutthroat competition, keeping inflation under wraps.
Boy, it has been a dramatic morning as we've watched the little boy taken from the home by U.S. Marshals, and then the reaction of the Cuban-American community. That has been what has concerned authorities in Miami the most, that the outrage expressed by Cuban-Americans would boil over on the streets of Miami. And these are live pictures.
I was in the closet. I wish I could have got in here to protect this little boy. And I was holding him, and Elian was screaming in English, "Help me, help me!" And then one ear, and then he was looking at Angela, and he was saying, "Que pasa, que pasa, que pasa? What's going on?" I just held his head like this. My God, America, what did you do to this boy? I mean, I held him, and they came in with guns. Now, I don't say they were put on my brain, but the gun was pointed right to me. "Give me the boy, give me the boy." And there was a lady with a blanket, and she took it and she put it over his face.
This administration had its moment. They've had their chance. They have not led. We will. So when I put my hand on the Bible, I will swear to not only uphold the laws of our land, I will swear to uphold the honor and dignity of the office to which I have been elected, so help me God.
To you tonight, I will work for you every day, and I will never let you down.
Jim, under my plan, I will put Medicare in an ironclad lockbox.
Let me say something. Now, I understand.
Excuse me,
Jim,
can I?
Minutes is up, but we'll finish.
Can I make one other point?
Wait a minute. That's just totally false. Wait a minute. It's just totally false for him to stand up here and say that. Let me make sure the seniors hear me loud and clear.
If I just briefly, Jim, I know.
In an environmentally friendly way.
Well, can I have the last word on this?
New question.
Of course.
Okay,
New
go ahead.
question.
On those who may have been involved in the bombing. Yemeni officials said yesterday a suspect now in custody linked the terrorist Osama bin Laden to the attack.
From CNN Center in Atlanta, coverage of election 2000 continues.
Showing you Texas, no surprise there, George Bush wins. The stunner at this hour is that we can call Al Gore the winner in the Wolverine state. Pennsylvania, the Keystone State, too close to call at this hour, still being battled out. In New Jersey, CNN able to say that Al Gore is the winner. George Bush was in there campaigning this very weekend. But it appears that Al Gore has won New Jersey in its 15 electoral votes. Map at this hour, you need 270 to win to become president. At this hour, it couldn't be any closer. I guess it could be by 2 votes. But Bush has 121, Al Gore at 119. It is a cliffhanger, gentlemen.
Positively had to have Florida. He got it. Doesn't mean Gore's going to win. But since he's won Florida with 25 electoral votes, won Pennsylvania with 23, also picked up Michigan and Illinois having 22. Ohio with 21 electoral votes is the biggest state on the board.
Governor Bush is the winner in Ohio, and he grabs the Buckeye State's 21 electoral votes. Moving very quickly in Tennessee, embarrassing Vice President Gore by snatching his state's 11 electoral votes. Is moving our earlier declaration of Florida back to the too close to call column.
6% of the vote that has been counted thus far. We're told that of the vote that is still to be counted, a lot of it comes from Dade and Broward counties. 69% from Miami, 16% from Tampa Bay, 13% from the north. 193,000 votes are out, and Gore will need 59% of the remaining vote to carry the state of Florida. So it couldn't be more critical for Al Gore and George W. Bush.
In a time of peace and prosperity like this, it's possible for the country to have such a division as they do.
Doris.
Uh-oh, something's happened.
George Bush is the president-elect of the United States. He has won the state of Florida, according to our projections. 25 electoral votes. NBC News projects that George Bush, it's been a night of first giving it to Al Gore, then taking it away on the part of the networks. George Walker Bush, the new president of the United States, the governor of Texas, the first father-son governor combination since the Adams family. This is the scene in Austin, Texas tonight. It's been a long, suspenseful evening. Karl Rove and the governor had a master strategy. They stuck to it, they were confident, and they proved right. At 2:18 in the morning Eastern Time.
This is an eventful sweep as in Austin they begin celebrating. One of the closest elections in American history.
Mr. Gore, I think, called Mr. Bush. ABC Steve Reynolds in Austin, I think, can tell us the content of it.
That's right, Peter. It was a brief telephone call placed by the Vice President to Governor Bush within the last hour.
In Austin, Vice President Al Gore has called Governor Bush and retracted his concession.
Acknowledgement on their part, Jim Russert, that they're not going to win it tonight, that it's going to have to go to the automatic recall.
The presidential race in Florida is as follows. Governor George W. Bush, 2,912,790. Vice President Al Gore, 2,912,253.
A recount, and yet another manual recount. Secretary Cheney and I are honored and humbled to have won the state of Florida.
Vote is not just a piece of paper. A vote is a human voice, the statement of human principle. And we must not let those voices be silent.
On the one hand, we've been criticized for being too forward-leaning. Now you suggest maybe we're too laid back. I would suggest you can't have it both ways.
Now the U.S. Supreme Court has spoken. Let there be no doubt. While I strongly disagree with the court's decision, I accept it. I accept the finality of this outcome, which will be ratified next Monday in the Electoral College. And tonight, for the sake of our unity as a people and the strength of our democracy, I offer my concession.
I have a lot to be thankful for tonight. I'm thankful for America, and thankful that we are able to resolve our electoral differences in a peaceful way. I'm thankful to the American people for the great privilege of being able to serve as your next president.
Question?